Hi everyone! So I decided to play a little game with my son and it's called tag. Now in this game, someone has to run and the other has to catch him. So when I tag my son, it means that I have a connection between him, okay? So we become linked, we become connected to each other. Now, say hi Ahmed.
Hi!
Now, what will you do?
I have to run and you have to catch me.
Oh, so would you like to start the game now?
Yes!
So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, he is so fast, isn't he? Ahmed, stop running. I wanna tag you.
Never!
I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna tag you, and I tagged you. Haha. I tagged my son Ahmed. Now come here, Ahmed. I want you to help me because I tagged you. And I want you to stand here. So, Ahmed has long hair, doesn't he?
Yes?
And he is so smart, isn't he?
Yes?
Yes, he is. Very good.
The name of the lesson is Tag Questions.
Now it's time to start with our grammar lesson. And the name of it is Tag Questions. Now, if you still remember from the video, I was chasing my son and I said, he is fast, isn't he? So, this isn't he is considered to be a tag question. Now, let's get to know how we use a tag question, why we use a tag question, and what is a tag question in the first place. Let's start. Now, a tag question is a sentence, okay? So first of all, it's a sentence that has a question tagged or linked to its end, okay? So first of all, we should have a sentence, a normal statement, but at the end of the statement or at the end of this normal sentence, we would have a tagged question. So kind of the question is tagged or linked to the sentence, okay? Now, here, you can use a tagged question when you expect the person you are having a conversation with to agree with what you say. So, whenever I have a tag question, or whenever I ask a tagged question, it means that I expect the other person, the one that I'm talking with, to agree with what I said. So when I said that my son has long hair, doesn't he? So this means that I expect from you guys, the viewers or the ones I'm talking with, to respond as yes, okay? And this is how we use a tagged question, or why we use a tagged question. Now, after discussing why we use a tag question, now it's time to know how we properly make or ask a tag question. Now, here are a couple of examples that I wrote on the board, but I'm not going to give you the steps of making a tag question right away. I want you to help me find out the rules together. Okay, so let me read the sentences here, and we'll try to find out the rules with each other. Let's start. Number 1. My friend was late, wasn't he? 2. The little girls were spoiled, weren't they? 3. The team players are tired, aren't they? 4. Her sister is running fast, isn't she? And number 5, I am old enough, am I not? So here, after reading these questions or these sentences, or these tag questions to be more exact, I want to know what's in common between all of them. So in order to know the rule, I should search for the most repeated things between or among all these tagged questions. Now, first of all, if you take a close look, you will see that all the sentences have something in common, which is the comma. So as you can see here, the comma, here, here, and here. So this kind of tells me that in order to make a tagged question, after my sentence or my statement, I should put a comma. So number one, I should put a comma. Now, let's take another look here. So, in order for me to know or to write a tag question, I should search for my verb. Okay? Now, here, let me see. My friend was late. So, my verb here is was, and it is a linking verb. Now, let's see. After the comma, guys, the verb was repeated another time. So, the second step I should do is to search for my linking verb, and if we take another look, my verb here was, but here it wasn't. So here it was in the positive, which is was, but here we change it into the negative by adding to it the not. So I'm going to change the color here, and here I have the not. Now let's see if this is something in common between all the sentences, okay? So I have number one to put a comma, number two I have to search for my linking verb, number three I have to put or search for not. Now, number four, the fourth thing I should look for is my subject. So here my subject is my friend, but I replaced or I substituted my friend, which is my subject, with a subject pronoun, which is he. Okay, so the he goes back to my friend. So I have to put as a the fourth step, I should put a subject pronoun. And I'm going to write the fifth step here because I no longer have any space. And the fifth step is here I have a question mark. So put a question mark. Now, let us check if all these steps or these 5 steps apply to the rest of the sentences. So the first thing is putting a comma. As we see here, all the sentences have a comma. Now search for my linking verb. Let's see here if I have a linking verb or a verb to be. It can be in the past or it can be in the present, okay guys? So, number 2, the little girls were spoiled. So here, number 1, I have the comma. Number 2, I have to search for my linking verb or helping verb, okay? So it can be a helping verb or a linking verb. So here, my linking verb here is the word or the verb where. Now, here, do I have not? No, I don't. So it's like kind of exactly the same as in this situation here. Now, after the comma, I have the same verb, which is the where. But this time, like here, when I did not have not here, I have here what? A not. So I should put a not. I should change it into the negative form. So when my verb in the sentence part is in the positive form, it means that there's no not in it. This means that after the comma, so in my tag question part, I should put the not. I should change it into the negative form. More guys, let's practice more. The more we practice, the more we'll understand. So we search for the not and it's found here. Number 4, we have to put a subject pronoun. So here, the little girls. Again, the little girls is my subject, my complete subject of course, and I replaced all of this complete subject with my subject pronoun, which is the word they. So they is my subject pronoun that refers back to the little girls. And again, do I have a question mark here at the very end? Yes, I do. So here again, I have the question mark. So we are knowing the rules just by observing the sentences, and we're observing the examples given to us regarding the tag questions. Now let's see number 3. The team players are tired. So step number 1, there's the comma. Step number 2, search for my linking verb or helping verb. In this case, I have a linking verb, which is the verb are. Now, number 3, put or search for not. So here, do I have not? No. So this verb to be, or you might say the linking verb here, is in the positive form. So this means that after the comma, I rewrite the verb, which is are, and I add to it the not. I change it into the negative. Because when before the comma, I have the verb in the positive form, after the comma, I should change it into the negative form. So here I have the not again. So here for number 4, I should change my complete subject or whatever, or my compound subject whatsoever. I have to change it into a subject pronoun whenever I want to make it in a tag question form. So the team players here, all of this one, I can replace it with a subject pronoun, which is they. So again, step number 4 is complete, and I still have number 5, put a question mark, and also I have a question mark at the very end, like the other sentences or tag questions. Now, number 4, her sister is running fast, isn't she? So, her sister is my subject. So, first of all, I search for my comma. Step number 1 in finding a tag question is to search for the comma. So, here's the comma. Step number 2, I have to search for my helping or linking verb. So here I have my helping verb in this sentence. It is not a linking verb here because I have running. Running is an action verb. So the verb to be is here is no longer a linking verb. It transforms or it changes into a helping verb in order to help the action verb running. Okay, so this is from the previous lesson we took, the lessons we took before. Now, I have to put a comma, I have to search for my linking verb, or my helping verb. So here it is the verb is. Now again, put or search for not. So here, there is no not, okay? So where should I put it? Excellent. I should put my verb here first, and I should add to it the not, okay? So the not here, I'm going to put a box around it. So my verb in the sentence before the comma was in the positive form. So after the comma, it becomes, or it changes into the negative form. Also, for subject pronoun, I have to change my subject into a subject pronoun. Her sister, sister here is like a singular, so I say a she, a girl. So I change her sister into the subject pronoun she, and at the very end I put a question mark. So here in number 5, I am old enough, am I not? So here my subject is I, clearly, and my verb here, my linking verb is am. So am is my linking verb. Now in this case, I have an exception. So whenever I have am, like I am, whenever I have am as my linking verb or helping verb, I must not follow the same rule done here. So usually step number 1 is to put the comma, so I put the comma here. Step number 2 is to search for my linking verb. So this is my linking verb here, I put it here. The first step, I put the comma, so I put it here. I copy the linking or the helping verb, which is am, only am, okay? So this is the exception for the rule. Am, I copy it as it is, and I skip this one. What do? I replace step 3 and 4. I just switch them. So I have to search for my subject pronoun, which is here I. So I write it as it is as step number 4. So am is my verb. I do not put not here. Even if it's in the positive form, I know I have to change it into the negative, but not directly after the linking verb, okay, or helping verb. Here it's a linking verb. So I have to put a subject pronoun here, which is the I. Then after it, as before the last step, I put the not, as you can see here. So here I did not put it as like an apostrophe T as the abbreviated form. I kept it as it is, as the complete form of it, which is not, N-O-T. Let me change this one here. And the very last step stays the same, which is number 5. Put a question mark, and yes, we did. We did put a question mark. So this is a kind of practice of the tag questions. Okay, so now after discovering the steps of making a tag question, it is time to properly write them down on the board and just read them together. Now, in order to make a tag question, as I said, we have 5 steps, okay guys? 5 steps. So you have to hold your hand up as if you're high-fiving me. You put your hand up, and whenever you're writing a tag question, you start counting down your fingers until you reach 0. Okay? So, high-five me now. Okay. Step number 1, this one, it is to put a comma. So, whenever I'm writing a tag question and I put a comma, I put my finger down. So this means I finished step 1. Now, step 2, search for helping or linking verb. So, I search for my helping or linking verb, and I just write it down on the other side after the comma. So once I write my helping or linking verb after the comma, I put my finger down. Okay, guys? So, step number 3, we have to put or remove not. So as I said, if in my sentence I have the not, like I wasn't, then after the comma, was. I just write it as was. So if it's in the positive form, I have to change it into the negative after the comma by putting not. And if it is in the negative form at the beginning, so I remove the not after the comma. So once I do this step, I put my finger down and I have 2 steps left. So step number 4, I still have 2 steps, okay guys? Step number 4, change your subject into a subject pronoun. So whenever you have a subject, remember the subject pronouns, they are I, you, he, she, it, we, they. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Okay? So, if I have a pronoun at the beginning of the sentence, if I say we are, I just say aren't we, so after the comma. So I don't change the subject into a subject pronoun because my job is easier since they already provided me with a subject pronoun. But if I said Mike and I, then I have to change Mike and I into a we after the comma. So change your subject into subject pronoun. Done. I still have this one, the small pinky, which is put a question mark. So some of you guys might totally forget about this step. They might not think that, okay, it's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal, because without the question mark, it's no longer a tagged question. So what makes a question special from other sentences is the presence of the question mark. So let me write it here, question mark, don't you forget it. Okay guys, so this is the summary, if you want, for my tag question rules.